At an informal meeting of EU leaders in Malta, the heads of the 28 member states adopted a declaration on halting illegal migration along the so-called Central Mediterranean route. The declaration states that Europe will strengthen its cooperation with those countries from which migrants embark on their way to Europe, especially Libya. The declaration is seen as the last chance to avoid another migrant crisis like the one seen in 2015, when more than 1 million migrants flooded into Europe.
We will train, equip and support the Libyan Coast Guard to stop people smugglers and increase search and rescue operations. We will deliver economic assistance to local communities in Libya to improve their situation.
While EU leaders were discussing the migrant situation in Malta, the Italian Coast Guard rescued more than 1,300 migrants in the Mediterranean. An additional 1,750 were pulled to safety in the previous 2 days alone. Backed by the UN, Libya wants to close down the Mediterranean migrant route. However, NGOs have criticized the EU's plan to stop the trafficking of migrants from Libya.
How can we do that when the people in Libya cannot ask freely for international or humanitarian protection, asylum? Why, in this kind of agreement, we are not talking about safe and legal passages?
On the margins of the EU summit in Malta, Croatian Prime Minister Andrej Plenković met with his Hungarian counterpart Viktor Orban. The two men agreed that the current tensions between the Croatian government and the Hungarian oil group MOL over management rights in the INA oil and gas company should not affect relations between Zagreb and Budapest. Prime Minister Plenković said that he received confirmation that MOL was ready to sell back to Croatia its stake in INA. Energy and Environment Minister Slaven Dobrović met with the European Commissioner for Energy and Climate Action Miguel Arias Cañete in Brussels yesterday. The European Commission wants Croatia to amend the INA privatization law on the grounds that it violates the EU's free movement of capital and freedom of establishment rules. However, Minister Dobrović informed the Commissioner of Croatia's plan to reacquire a controlling interest in INA, which will ultimately render the law irrelevant. The two men also discussed the proposed liquefied natural gas terminal on the island of Krk and the ratification of the Paris Agreement on climate change. Croatia opened its first-round showdown of the Davis Cup World Group against Spain yesterday. In the first singles match, Franco Škugor edged Pablo Carreno 3-2. Spain leveled the score in the second match of the day with Roberto Bautista beating Ante Pavic in straight sets. In the doubles match today, Nikola Mektic and Marin Draganja will play Feliciano Lopez and Marc Lopez. That starts at 4 p.m. local time. And now the forecast for the remainder of the day. Partly sunny skies will give way to cloud cover moving in from the west. There will be some rain starting on the northern Adriatic and in Gorski Kotar and moving to the rest of the coast and western reaches of the interior by nightfall. Southwesterly winds on the coast will shift to a moderate to strong southerly and southeasterly. Highs will be between 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. The 3-day forecast for the interior calls for fog and partly sunny skies tomorrow morning, followed by cloud cover moving in from the west. Predominantly overcast at the beginning of next week with colder temperatures and new snowfall. Partly sunny on the coast on Sunday, followed by variable cloud cover and intermittent and isolated showers.